Hello, welcome to our visit to the USS Lexington in Corpus Christi Bay. This is the picture of the Lexington. Here's one of the early Blue Angel aircraft they used, an A4 Skyhawk. The anchors they used to anchor the carrier. Here's a picture of the carrier as we're approaching up the entryway. As we're coming up the entryway, here's a panorama looking out across the channel leading into the harbor and across at the downtown area. USS Lexington flag. Here's a view looking up at the ship again as you're coming into it, and then turning around and looking across at the harbor bridge and out toward the North Beach area of Corpus Christi. Here's the carrier again. Once more panning around looking at the harbor bridge. The Lexington was used in the making of the movie of the Pearl Harbor. Here's we're entering into the tour of the ship. We started on the flight deck this time. We were here a couple years ago, but the weather was not conducive for being outside. But today was beautiful, so we got up on the flight deck and took pictures of the many aircraft that they have on display up there. Aircraft that were used throughout the service life of the Lexington. Some during Vietnam, some during the Korean War, some during the Cold War, into more recent conflicts. And some more of the aircraft that were in use. Had really interesting display signs in front of each one explaining the aircraft, its capabilities, and how it was used aboard the Lexington. A very informative display. Continuing to pan around the flight deck, looking at the various aircraft. Range of aircraft went from prop-driven planes up until jets used in modern times. Looking at the water from the flight deck, looking out across the Gulf of America. Beautiful sight today. Continuing the tour of the flight deck, some more of the aircraft. I believe this was one of the training aircraft. Looking up toward the bridge and then panning it in across the flight deck. The Cobra gunship was up on the flight deck. Cobra was the only non-naval aircraft that was on the flight deck. Some of the arresting gear that was used to quickly stop landing aircraft. This was one of the anti-aircraft and shore batteries that was on the flight deck. A little information about the flight deck. Now we're climbing up into the bridge area. Take a look at the bridge and what went on up there. Computer screens over there were displays of the paper navigational charts that was used during the time this ship was in operation. The passageways. Here's the ship's captain's quarters. Of course, it's the largest on the ship, and it was located up on the bridge so we could be close to the action. Explanation of some of the instruments they used. This is the flight deck itself. This particular one was looking at the helm and And this is looking out across where the captain and the executive officer would be sitting, panning through the windscreens, looking out across the city and the bridges. Again, looking out through the windscreens, the view, looking down at the flight deck and then out into the Gulf. Yeah, we're allowed to sit up in the chairs to see what it would be like to be up there during operations. As we're climbing down, looking out across the flight deck again from above, really good view looking out toward North Beach and toward the Port Orwanas area. Now we're down in the hangar deck. This is a model of the USS South Dakota, one of the battleships that was used extensively in World War II. It was all done by a private individual. Again, looking down across the hangar deck at some of the displays. This is the bell that was installed on the Lexington when she was commissioned. And this is leaving the Lexington, looking back at the ship. So we want to thank you for coming aboard with us. We'll see you next time.